All right.
Okay,
All right,
go
and
ahead.
we are live. Right. So, good morning to those who are based in the North American region, and good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the pre-hackathon community event one of Polkadot Hackathon North America edition. And welcome all for and thank you all for taking time to join us today. My name is Justin, and with me today it's Urban from Web3 Foundation. And today is really just an opportunity for us to share a little bit more about what the North America edition hackathon will be about, and similarly to make some special announcement for those who have actually joined us today. So, Urban, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, welcome everybody to this session. We're going to be, like Justin said, introducing the next stop in the global series, which is going to be focused on North America. So, go ahead, Justin. Let's go. Let's keep on going. All right, so before we dive into details about the challenges, the prizes, the tracks, and all of that, we basically wanted to provide a high-level view of what is about to come. So in similar fashion to the APAC hackathon that happened last year, actually. Yeah, it's been a while, Justin.
It's really
Yeah, this is going to be a 6 week long hackathon and mostly online. I am saying mostly online because we do have kind of a small, let's say, pre-announcement, and I'm going to leave it at that for Justin to break the ice later. Yeah, so as opposed to the APAC hackathon, which was kind of a little bit more focused on substrate. We are trying to expand it this time around to basically include the wider Polkadot ecosystem. Since, as you all probably know, Polkadot has gone from the single relay chain coming online to a flourishing ecosystem of parachains, and we are trying to include the entirety of the ecosystem as we move along into these hackathons. So you're obviously welcome to, like it says, build your first blockchain, but even further, everybody is invited to explore the entirety of the ecosystem. So you might be a Solidity dev coming in, you might want to tap into one of the parachains that offer that. If you're more of a Rust person, you can explore Ink as the smart contracting language. You can explore some of the API tooling that is available, or go ahead and use Substrate to build a completely new blockchain. So, like mentioned, we're trying to expand this as much as we can. But the reality of hackathons is not just the hacking and the building, right? We want you to first and foremost have a good time, get to know people, network, socialize. And granted, this is a bit trickier in a all online setting, right? We're all social people. We like to get in-person time with everybody, but it's not always possible. So we're going to make our best effort to include as much networking as possible, as much in-person time as possible, and obviously socialize not just for the sake of building, but actually socialize for the sake of socializing, to getting to know each other. So hackathons are not, like mentioned, just the building and the socialization aspect. It's really also about learning and diving into new ecosystems, diving into new topics. So we are working really hard behind the scenes to make a lot of workshops happen, a lot of mentor office hours to happen, a lot of resources for people to be available, because the reality is that people come in, developers come in with various degrees of knowledge, expertise, and so on. So we're trying to kind of fill all of these gaps with different resources, different materials, and different workshops. So yeah, a combination of these and some fantastic prizes should be a pretty good motivator to dive in and to build something. But yeah, Justin's probably gonna go into that into more detail, so I'm not gonna spoil anything. But yes, we are trying to prepare something pretty awesome in the middle of the hackathon. So let's go to the next slide and let's talk some specifics. So the hackathon is going to come with 5 distinct topics or tracks, but these are just the main kind of tracks and topics that we've got for you prepared. So number one, and I want to mention, although they're numbered, they don't come in a particular numbered order, right? It's not like one is better than the other. This is just a random layout, really. So interfaces and experiences. We have a very powerful tool in the Polkadot ecosystem that is called Polkadot.js. And although it has kind of a apps UI to it, which a lot of people use as their primary wallet, actually, Polkadot.js is one of the most powerful tools of building interfaces and various experiences. So there's a whole category dedicated to UI and UX stuff. You might dive into something that you know and maybe try to making it better. Maybe you want to develop something that is, I don't know, a dashboard, a council watcher, something like that, that you think is missing in the ecosystem. So DAOs and governance being the next one, and I think this is actually really quite fitting the Polkadot ecosystem, Polkadot and Kusama ecosystems at large, because Polkadot in its essence is actually a huge DAO, if you think about it. All the governance that is built into it, it's really functioning in a completely decentralized way. So it's a network that is really governed by a DAO. Currently, that is the council and obviously all the DOT stakeholders, Polkadot stakeholders. So because of that, we absolutely want to see some more stuff being built in this realm. It's an exciting time to be alive, actually, for DAOs. There's a lot of tooling being built. Even if you look at other ecosystems that are out there, there's actually a lot happening. Not necessarily in terms of what kinds of DAOs are popping up, but actually the tooling and the support that is needed to run a DAO and to function as a DAO. So if you're into that, this is probably the perfect way to get into the DAO stuff. One more back, Web3 and tooling. So Web3 and tooling is kind of a larger catch-all category. Web3 and tooling just meaning anything that is probably not going to fit into one of the other four categories should probably go into this one. But particularly tooling, we mean the developer tooling, right? So you might build something really awesome, something very useful, but it's not really for an NFT or for a DAO, or it doesn't really have an interface. This is probably the category that you should be looking at. Now, if we go to the fourth and the fifth one, these are really kind of staples across the Polkadot, across the blockchain Web3 ecosystem in general. So DeFi and NFTs, I'm not going to go into detail because I think these are quite self-explanatory, but really these are larger buckets where whatever you build with DeFi should probably go here. Whatever you build with NFTs, ranging from metaverses to art to gaming, is probably good to go into the fifth category. So that would be it for the main categories. But here's the catch, right? There is obviously more, and it doesn't come as a main category. It actually comes in the form of various different challenges that are put up by ecosystem teams. So if we have a look, we actually on these slides we've got 12 of them listed, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not going to take the time to go into all of these in all detail, but what I do want to mention is that they come in very broad ranges in different, like Justin's going to take you through some of the prizes and so on. So various degrees of what you can build, various degrees of difficulty as well. And you really can mix and match and choose what you want to build. So we're going from Akala to Astar, Bifrost, Crust, Equilibrium. We've got Ice Network here. Justin, if you go, there you go. We've got Interlay, Fala, Subsquid, Unique, and Zeitgeist. And I want to point out the number 10 here, which is a mesh between 4 different teams. So Subquery, Moonbeam, Akala, and HydraDX. And I think this is something fantastic that they've put together. And not to overshadow all the others, but I think XCM is something that has recently come alive and is actually something highly excited and was anticipated for a long time. So it's cool to see something like this pop up. But regardless, what I wanted to mention here is as we move along, we will most likely have quite a few more of these challenges. So the next time we have one of these calls, I think we might even introduce quite a few more, as well as we actually commence the hacking, because it just people just keep on reaching out to us. So this is obviously a really good time for me to extend a public call. So if Justin and the AngelHack team, or myself and Sophia, who has been helping out with this, have not managed to reach out to you. This is nothing personal. Please go ahead and reach out to us if you are one of the teams that feels left out. We're more than happy to accommodate everybody that comes in. Stuff just tends to fall through the cracks because there's literally hundreds of teams that we need to get in touch with. So I'm very, very happy to announce that there's going to be more coming here, but it's really, really cool to see all of these meshes and different kind of technologies that you can come in. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna stop rambling in a second and hand it over to Justin. The last thing that I wanted to mention at this point is that um, you'll see once you, especially for the new developers coming in, you'll see that Polkadot actually doesn't have one starting point, right? It's actually really hard for us to point you to one thing and say, hey, you should go here, and everything is written there. It's actually a mesh of different technologies, different teams that have different value propositions as well, right? So you can go from, like I said, Solidity smart contracts down to building your own palettes for a custom blockchain. And the range here is quite different, and it can be also quite the difficulty level can be also quite different. So hence, I'm very, very happy to see all of these different kinds of chains participating, different kinds of challenges being put up, because it really encompasses what Polkadot is about, and what you're probably going to see more of over the coming months and years. So with that, I am actually gonna hand it over to Justin. So I see we have a question, but let's maybe wait until the end and then come back to all the questions. So if anybody has any extra questions, please feel free to chime in and write them down, but let's maybe answer them at the end of the session. So with that, Justin, the word is yours.
Yep. Thanks, Urban, for covering basically what some of the categories that each of you can actually look at when you are participating at the hackathon. And also, we have really exciting thing going on, which is basically the ecosystem thing challenges. And they're kind of still continue rolling even up to when we're going to launch the hackathon next week. But all in all, just quick reminder, if you have any questions with regards to the hackathon or anything about this, do feel free to drop us a questions and we'll answer them at the end later on. So as I mentioned earlier on, there are just so many teams that's actually involved in this hackathon, be it from the Polkadot side and the various part of the ecosystem teams who are actually contributing and all. We do have, as of today, $561,000 in prize pool, and it continues to roll as we continue to add on various challenges from the other ecosystem teams. They are coming on board to join this for the greater cause as well. So how we're going to break it down, basically it's based on the categories that you have actually saw earlier on. There will actually be an overall winner that's going to be announced at the end of the hackathon in itself. The prize pool is 30,000. There's going to be hackathon swag box and also discount for Substrate Runtime Academy. Moving forward are the five main categories that was mentioned earlier on. For each of the categories, there will be first place, second place, and third place, each walking away 20,000, 15,000, and 10,000 respectively as well for the team in itself. Of course, with everyone that's actually contributing into the ecosystem, we want to involve everyone. There is be it participating at the hackathon or anyone that's actually part of the Polkadot ecosystem to also be empowered to kind of decide basically all the submissions that's going to take place, to have a round of public votes that's going to take place. You do have the opportunity to kind of tell us which project or which idea resonate best with you, and it could really be something that could flourish within the Polkadot ecosystem eventually, be it within the ecosystem teams or even within Polkadot itself. There will be three public choice winner, or basically we call them the community choice in that sense. That's going to be awarded with each team walking away with $5,000, and the rest of the items are pretty much the same with the rest. So these category prizes are actually funded by the Polkadot Treasury, And that's also something that the community have actually voted for, and decided to just say, hey, this is really something that everyone is agreeable, and everyone want this to kind of take place as well. So besides that, and part of the contributing to the prize pool are actually the ecosystem team challenge prizes as well. So each of the ecosystem team that have contributed various challenges that you have seen earlier on, as Urban have actually run through with them, each of them comes with varied different amount of prizes. And like Urban said earlier on as well, these are kind of a mix and match in that sense. So for example, if you're one that's actually working on the interface and experiences category tracks, you could leverage to kind of add on potentially to have additional cash prizes to walk away, by including some of the ecosystem team challenges as well at the same time. So at the end of the day, if your idea is something that could leverage on, for example, Crust Network and even Bitfrost together, for example, then you're technically up for the various prizes that's actually up for you, up for grabs as well. So just a reminder, whatever you're going to submit for the hackathon, do indicate which category and ecosystem team challenge that you're kind of integrating with, and then you will technically be up for them for the prizes as well. So Akala, A-Star, Bitfrost, Crust Network, Equilibrium, Ice Network, Interlay, Fala Network, Subsquid, and the collaboration between Subquery, Moonbeam, Akala, Hydra DX, Unique Network, and Zeagist have all their own bounty amounts that you could leverage on, and have the opportunity to work away with part of the prizes on top of what you might potentially be walking away as well. So it really uses opportunity, and we do understand that every folks of you out there do have different expertise, and that's also the reason why we kind of expanded how the hackathon would run to not just kind of limit to just Substrate, which was what the APEC edition was mostly about, but rather really to pull in each and every single one of you, with different knowledge, and to really look at how you could contribute into this ecosystem in general. So while Urban mentioned that most of the things are technically mostly virtual, this is really an opportunity for us to really proudly announce that we are actually hosting the Hacker House at New York City. And the Hacker House is going to take place on the June 23rd to 28th. This is actually an in-person session where there is lots in agenda that's in pipeline. We have workshops, we have time where you're able to build your projects. Mentors are going to be around to help you in person, on site, to help you work towards your projects. And at the same time, it's really an opportunity for you to meet the people that is actually participating in the hackathon, and really to really expand and create a human touch to this hackathon in general. The location is going to be an industry city, which is located in Brooklyn itself. And the QR code that you see over there, please, at this point of time, grab your mobile phone and scan the QR code. And this is an opportunity for you to register your interest today. Do note that we do have limited seats at the Hacker House, and all registered interest from this point of time to the start of the hackathon, we will actually be contacting you to confirm your attendance closer to date, just to ensure that we have most of the logistics items sorted out specifically for you who have actually made the effort to kind of register your interest ahead of time as well. So really do not miss this opportunity. The team has really put in lots of effort to source a great venue. And we have various rounds of looking at different venues that will really be representative of what this Hacker House is all about. And we are all really excited to kind of see you in person in New York City as well. So don't miss the opportunity, and we really look forward to see you at the Hacker House as well. So moving forward, just a quick recap of what we have just covered. The hackathon period where you start building start working on your ideas and building the submissions will last from May 30th to July 11th. This is actually a 6-week hackathon. And the prize pool, apologies on that, is still 561,000 prize pool and counting. And do remember that there are, even though there are 5 main categories for your submission, there are really lots of ecosystem teams challenges that you can integrate into your submission, your idea, your project as well. And really, it's really an opportunity for you to tap on what you already know and to contribute into the ecosystem in general, the Polkadot ecosystem. Of course, we do have lots of resources that are actually curated and also a huge lineup of mentors that are actually have really their time and avail themselves to be able to help you along as you get going during this entire period. We do have lots of networking opportunities as much as we could, both virtually and, of course, as I mentioned in the previous slide, definitely the Hacker House will be great networking opportunities for you to know, to speak with various teams, be it from the Web3 Foundation, from Polkadot, and the rest of the ecosystem teams. But more so, it's also an opportunity for you to find out what are the various opportunities you can tap on when you're there in person as well. And really, it's really an opportunity for you to develop your skills and to kind of test yourself at the same time as well. So right now, today, I really encourage you to get started on the Polkadot ecosystem. Basically, the team, Urban and Zofia, have actually put in lots of effort to create a Polkadot Pathway modules, more specifically to the North America edition in itself. What you could do, and if you don't already have an account on Polkadot Pathways, you could actually scan the QR code itself and to really get you onboarded onto it. If you already had done so, or you already had a Polkadot Pathways, basically scanning this QR code will bring you to the North America edition modules that are actually created as well. And just to kind of get you going as well, top 100 scorers based on the modules that you have actually completed, the task that's actually up on there, you will kind of get yourself a Polkadot swag t-shirt at the end of the hackathon as well. So, why not? I would also love to have one. So Urban, just kind of a hint for you. But
I mean, you have to be in the top 100. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I guess I'll probably just have to squeeze myself into the top 100 with lots of people that's just going to participate as well. But yeah, our top 100 scorers at the end of the hackathon do walk away with a Polkadot swag t-shirt as well. So the big question, how do you actually get started? So essentially, any persons who would want to be qualified for the above prizes that we mentioned earlier on, and even for the entrance to the Hacker House. This Hacker House was technically open up to the participants of the hackathon mainly. But other than that, the first step that you really need to do is to get yourself registered for the North America Edition Hackathon. It's basically your entry ticket to everything mentioned above. And simply just scan the QR code similarly. And we'll drop the link a little bit later on just for you to get registered as well. More so than that, the next step is really to be in the Polkadot Discord server. We do have a channel that's more specific to all the hackathons, from the announcements, team formations, the mentors are there as well. And any of the information about the hackathon is just all going to be there, including all the help that you're going to get as well. So this is the space that you should be in, have to be in the whole time, just to ensure that you are not missing out any resources that we have actually gotten ready for you. And last but not least, we do have a hackathon calendar that you can save it to your own, just to ensure that you are equally aware of all the sessions that's actually happening. As Urban mentioned, the team has really come in together and pull in all the resources that we have to come up with lots of workshops and sessions to get you going as well. So it ranges from substrate technical workshop all the way to the various ecosystem team sharing, just to get you started on and to understand how you can go around, tackling the various ecosystem teams challenges, should you decide to take on any of it as well. So all this information, including the hackathon calendar and all the resources, are actually available on the participants guide. that you will actually receive the moment you actually register to join the hackathon in itself. So right here, just give a quick pause on this slide for anyone that's going to utilize the QR code. I do see quite a few number of questions that are actually coming in, so do keep them coming along the way as well. Urban and I will get to them in a slide or two later on as well. But just a reminder that the registration of hackathon, most importantly, apart from being the entry ticket to everything, it's also to qualify your team for the prizes at the end of the day. So do make sure that anyone that you teamed up with have actually registered for the hackathon, and that's really, really, really important, right? I think at this point of time, it's a great time for us to take a pause of all talking. I think Urban and I will take this opportunity to actually look at some of the questions that we do have, and we'll probably just cover some of it as well. So I'll probably take the first few that I do see. So first of all, for a hackathon, you are open to join as a solo member. But if you would like to actually recruit some of the other participants to form a team, you can essentially form a team of 4 or even more. Essentially, what we're trying to do here is at the optimal, we really want teams to be in a concise, group of 4 to get things going, and it's kind of easier on coordination as well. However, if you do have kind of like 5 or 6 people that you kind of work collectively together before, and as a team you like to join the hackathon, we are happy for you to kind of join as per what your team is. So technically speaking, there's not too much of restrictions in terms of the number of teams that you have. But well, if you're going to split the prizes to 10 people, I guess we're happy to do so as well, right? Yeah. So we'll probably have Urban to take on the next couple of questions. I believe one of them is just kind of asking if there is kind of any plan on Arab community.
Yeah. So yes, absolutely. And I think I saw 2 such comments slash prizes. So yes, we are absolutely expanding this series region by region. We are not completely sure where the next one is going to be, but the idea, yes, to have a, let's say, Middle East focused event. We'll see how we combine this and how much interest we get. But generally, yeah, the idea is to kind of go all over the place. So, like mentioned, we started with Asia Pacific. We're moving to North America. So, as you can guess, there's quite a few regions on planet Earth that we need to go to as well. So let's see. Prizes. Oh, hello, Kami. The prizes are cash USD. And this is essentially so main prize pool is going to be USD, and I think the ecosystem teams as well. But all the specifics on also on the judging, not just the what is paid out and so on. You want to talk with ecosystem teams in particular, but generally, yes, everything is cash USD. How do I refer you? So I would assume this is about how do you refer people into the hackathon. We don't really have a referral system set up, so there is no, you can't win more if you refer people, but you are more than welcome to refer people to join. You can do this via the main landing page, so the web page that we've got up, or directly the dev post page. So both are either or, really, people should be able to participate. Let me take the next one as well, maybe. Can we submit for both the hackathon and ecosystem challenges via single project submission? Yes, and that is kind of the whole point of this, which really allows you to stack some of these things on top. Generally, you can build something that utilizes hopefully multiple chains since XCM is live and so on. But imagine building a solution that utilizes 3 different chains that are also they have their own hackathon challenges up. So in theory, you might be able to win all 3 of these ecosystem challenges, and potentially, let's say it's an NFT thing, you could win in the NFT category as well. So Yes, it is stackable. It depends how feasible it's going to be, but generally, yeah, you should be able to win in a ecosystem challenge as well as be eligible for a track prize or even the grand prize. Uh, does the Polkadot Pathways have a join code? Yeah, actually, Sophie, I see her in the chat. Could you just maybe paste the invite link for the for Polkadot Pathways? What Justin put in here was the QR code. So if you didn't scan it, maybe somebody can just paste the link to it. Do we get a letter of invitation for New York City Hacker House? So I don't know, to be honest. This is the first time we've gotten this question. Why don't you send maybe Justin or myself an email and we see what we can do? I can't promise anything, but generally, if you're keen on going to the US to the Hacker House, we will try to help you as much as we can. I don't know if letter of invitation is within the realm of, quote unquote, as much as we can. Um, yeah, would a treasury funded project build be eligible for the prize pool? Oh, I'm not sure I understand the question, Adam. Would a treasury funded project build be eligible for the prize pools? So if you're asking if a already existing project that has been funded by the treasury could be eligible for a prize, um, in theory, not for the portion that has already been built, right? So you would actually need to upgrade it and you would only be judged on the portion that is new. So in theory, yes. In reality, I would discourage you actually to use something as vast as, if you've gotten substantial funding, you've probably built it out quite a lot. But in theory, yeah, but you would be only judged on the portion that is being upgraded. Is there any? Sorry, Justin. I just keep on going and answering. Please
Yeah,
just
no
keep on.
worries. Please go ahead. I'll just recap some of the things at the end of the day. No
All right.
worries.
Is there any integration between Kilt protocol and Polkadot? So Kilt is currently a parachain on Kusama. So there is technically no bridge at this point, but Kilt they don't have a challenge up, they don't have a prize, but the Kilt members of, I think the DevRel team or the engineers are going to be present for some workshops and mentorship, and you can actually talk directly to them. If you want to build a Kilt application, if you want to build a Kilt integration, you're more than welcome to do so. Yeah. If my team in top 100 guys from New Zealand do, can we get swag? Yes, absolutely. I sure hope so. And on the note of swag, I don't know if you guys have seen, probably have. Polkadot has gone through a brand redesign quite some time ago, but we were still using the old swag designs, which I'm wearing right now, actually. We will be using new swag with new logos and the new brand for this one. So very exciting, I think. Let's see. Did I leave anything out?
Eh, I think that's pretty much it.
Please do Africa next. We will try to do Africa for sure. So anybody, and this is again a public call, if anybody is serious in kind of helping out maybe on the ground in some of these regions that we haven't been there, please reach out to Justin or myself or to Sophie, who's active in the chat. We are absolutely looking for people that can help take this to the next level within the regions that Polkadot hasn't been really present as much. So yeah, please reach out if you're interested in participating or helping out. So I think that kind of sums it up, I guess. Yeah, Justin,
Yep.
go ahead.
Yeah. So just just for the benefit of everyone here, at the end of the day, while this is themed as the North America edition, everyone around the globe is really welcome to actually participate at the hackathon. Because what we are trying to do here is really about expanding what are some of the various items that you really can look at to actually contribute into the entire Polkadot ecosystem. And that actually stems out from the fact that we are actually doing the five main categories. And along at the same time, there are actually lots of ecosystem teams have actually contributed to the various challenges that you can actually integrate with whatever they're trying to build for their project submission for the hackathon that is leveraged together with the categories. So like what Urban have mentioned earlier on, it's really about you looking at how feasible, the mix and matches kind of combination that you can really think of, and really to submit as one project in itself. And that essentially lines you up for various prizes that you can actually be up for, based on the assessment as well. Similarly, any questions as regards to more specifics in terms of the ecosystem team's challenges, or maybe to find out a little bit more even on any additional assessment criteria that we will be looking at, though we'll be covering it during the opening ceremony that's going to be happening next week. What most of the details would be able to you will be able to get them from the ecosystem teams themselves, and they do have their own specific channels on Polkadot Discord server. Just look for the hackathon channel. Apart from the main channels that are out there for the most the general announcements, technical check and all, the ecosystem teams are actually around there as well to answer any of the questions that you might have. So do leverage on this opportunity. And like I say, really, if you have any questions at the end of the day, do feel free to reach out to us on Discord, drop us an email. Myself, Urban, similarly, we will get back to you as much as possible as well. So back to the teams portion, I do see a couple, one more questions that kind of put out at the same time. Essentially, what's going to happen is that you are open to kind of participate as a solo hacker for the hackathon for sure. But at the same time, we also do encourage you to kind of form teams or join with an existing team that you already have as well, to kind of participate at the hackathon. And at this point of time, we would encourage 4, but if you already have a larger team, please feel free to participate as well. Don't feel restricted by it. What we're trying to do here is just to keep things as flexible and fluid as much as possible. At the end of the day, it's really about welcoming each and every one of you and various teams to really come in together and, put your ideas together and see how we could bring the next cutting edge of blockchain within the region itself. Right. So thanks, Zofia, for sharing the Discord link on the chat as well. Essentially, these are some of the pages that Zofia had actually put in onto the chat. The website, the hackathon page, the pathways to get you going in terms of your learning, and essentially the Discord server as well to get you started on your journey as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Urban, any final note before we end?
No, look, just have fun. Really, this whole event is really meant to, of course, it's about building and coming up with an awesome submission and winning some prizes. But really, I really think I would encourage everybody to try and network as much as possible, try and find teammates and so on. Even if you want to do solo hacking and so on. Like the point of this whole thing is to get to know people and get to know the ecosystem, get to know what you can do from here on as well, right? I really like the notion of this whole hackathon series being a launch pad for individual developers coming in, right? Maybe you're looking for your next job, maybe you're looking to build a company, maybe you're just exploring what is out there, and I think this is a perfect opportunity to do so. So seize the opportunity, I guess. But yeah, with that, that's it from me. Justin, if you have any final words, otherwise we would thank you for your participation.
Yep, I've dropped Urban and my email in the chat as well. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop us an email, and either of us are happy to kind of answer any of the questions that you have. Other than that, really thank you all for taking time to join this session today. And please feel free to reach out to us if you have any clarifications required. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Bye.